I was just scrolling through Twitter as I usually do when I'm bored, not doing anything important, and I happened to notice a hashtag last week that said Chris Delia is over party, and I was like, Chris Delia, that name sounds familiar.
Und was ist mit J-Lo?
Die kenne ich nicht.
Ups.
So a few months ago, the second season of You came out, and he was in it. He played a comedian. Basically, he played a fictional version of himself. And that was how I recognized the name, because I had seen it in the credits, and it was just vaguely familiar to me. But if I'm being honest, I couldn't tell you another project that he was in.
So,
I looked into the hashtag to see what the story was. I wanted to know what the tea was, because what did he do? Did he say something racist? Did he say something homophobic? Did he do something wrong? I wanted to know what was happening.
Alright, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go, 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 go.
And I happened to find the tweet that started it all. And a young lady now in her 20s said that while she was in high school, Chris Delia had been pursuing her. He had been messaging her and he had been trying to hook up with her. And she was showing everybody what was going on. She was letting us see everything. And as you do on Twitter, we cancelled Chris Delia.
I don't even know why you were here. Security! Can you please escort this lady over here out?
Because he's a pervert, he's a predator, and we wanted to get the swift justice that we are now used to. Yeah! Of course, as you do on Twitter, we cancelled him. That was it for him. It was over for him, and he was dropped by his agency. People was saying that he played a predator on You, and he happened to be a predator in real life, and there's irony, and his co-stars from previous projects like Whitney Cummings and Penn Badgley, who was on You, they all expressed concern, and his reputation was in tatters. But later on in the week, he actually released the full receipts of everything, and we got to find out that when he found out that she was still in high school and that she was underage, he ended all contact with her, and she actually messaged him when she was older, when she was legal, to say, "Hi, I'm of age now, do you want to meet up?" So she sold us a story that we ate all the way up. It wasn't just like a snack, sis, it was a full meal, and we all ate it. We were ready to cancel him, and it turns out
it was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
social media is a really powerful tool in the 21st century if you want to get information out there, if you want to get support, and if you want to just have your voice amplified. The right person or the right number of people coming across your post really can blow something up and can amplify your voice so loudly. And I think that it's a great tool when it's used to really deal with certain issues. I think Me Too has benefited from this a lot. I think it's so important that we have this Me Too movement that protects women, that allows them to have this space. And of course, not just women, because Terry Crews is not a woman, but he had a story. And we need to be able to hear these stories, and social media allows the average person to be able to tell their story so that everybody could hear about it, and these people could face justice. Even if they don't get things done legally, even if you don't win a civil case or you don't win a criminal case, the court of public opinion, especially as it relates to celebrities, is going to determine the future of your career. And that's what we saw happen here. He was faced with rapid justice and he didn't do anything wrong. So going forward, I'm a bit confused. I'm not sure if I want to be involved in a movement that is doing this much damage to people if they haven't actually done anything wrong.
I have one word in answer to what you just asked me. No! How about a big no?
I think at the time of Me Too, at its peak, the idea of believing victims was a really good one because it allowed victims from all walks of life to be able to come out and say, this happened to me and I'm coming into a safe space where people are willing to listen. Because traditionally, when people have reported rape and sexual assault, they have felt like people were skeptical. And what we were saying was that now in this time, we're willing to listen and we are on your side. We believe you. We think that you are speaking the truth and we want you to get the support that you need. And the truth of the matter is, statistically, you are. The majority of rape and sexual assault cases are true. Most people are telling the truth when they go in. But the statistics do show us that 2 to 6% of rape and sexual assault reports are false, which in the grand scheme of things isn't a very huge number. So it doesn't mean that we shouldn't believe victims because there's a percentage of them that might actually be lying. But let's maybe look at the math of 2 to 6% of rape victims and sexual assault victims lying. Let's maybe work it out. So, in America in 2018, there were just over 700,000 rape and sexual assault cases. 2% of that is 14,000 or so. 14,000 people who were falsely accused of rape and sexual assault. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, if it's 6%, it's actually 44,000 people who were falsely accused of rape and sexual assault. Now, when you think of the large number of over 700,000 cases, those numbers aren't really that big. But that's 14,000 or 44,000 lives being affected. And not just those individual lives, but the lives of their friends, the lives of their family, the lives of their children. You know, this is a serious deal. And when we listen to victims, when we believe victims and just say, well, once they said it happened. What's gonna happen next? We can't just say we're gonna believe every single victim. And this has been happening now for a little while. In the same week as Chris D'Elia, there was somebody who was going around Twitter saying that like half the cast of Riverdale had sexually assaulted or raped somebody. And because we were ready to believe it, the hashtags began and everybody was willing to say, oh my god, these people are so horrible. But once we realized, wait, half the cast? That's a lot of people to be in one cast. That's when we suddenly began to ask questions. We should be asking questions all the time. And I know that we don't want to feel like we're interrogating victims because they may actually be speaking the truth. But the truth of the matter is, we cannot believe somebody that we don't know who's accusing somebody that we also don't know. So I think we need to be willing and able to listen. I think that that's a completely different thing. I think we need to listen. If somebody comes out and they say, this thing happened to me, okay sis, spill the tea, I want to know. Let's listen and provide a safe space and a safe environment for these people to be able to say something happened to them. But that doesn't mean that we automatically assume that you're speaking the absolute truth, because you may be speaking your truth or you may be speaking a complete lie. So we need to listen, but that doesn't mean we need to believe these people. And to take it one step further, we need to listen to them and provide them with the safe space that they need to be able to express themselves. But we also have to be willing and able to listen to the accused. And I think sometimes we decide that the accused is guilty before we even have all the information.
I never found you funny. I never found you entertaining. I never found you smart. I just found you annoying.